my friends say, girl, you better take care.
Good evening, people. How are we doing? This is still community. And the topics keep flying in. While you're at it, make sure you sign up to the channel, subscribe, tell others about it, try and watch it all the way through. I do appreciate that. And thanks for the people that have signed up and OGs of the channel. We love you. We're talking about the Democrats, how everything they're doing is failing. For all the years that they had to question the American public to let them know, and to question what was going on, they never said a word. But now it seems to be the most important thing to them to get information on Jeffrey Epstein. It's really important to them. And with all due respect, this is an important issue.
I want you to think this through in your mind.
They are trying to regulate.
Joe Biden was in office.
And you wonder why they're pushing that narrative so much. What's the reason for it? And we can listen to a lot of things and a lot of different theories, but this is all altered to try and get something on Donald Trump. And these people are sickening. The exchange of power has not been a nice thing. And when a person is digging into your past and bringing up all the lies, all the deceitfulness and hatred, you dislike them. They're ruining your money. They're destroying every piece of dirt that you built. And they'll find it every way that they can, trying to stop the military from working. They've gone to that now. And President Trump says can even be determined by death. And they've gone, they got the judges. I mean, I've been in this world a long time, y'all. I never seen judges so blatantly go after a person. It's almost like we voted for these judges that come in here. They're trying to run the country, not Trump. And they have picked every avenue that they can. And every time they lose to the Supreme Court and everything else, they come up with something new. Now they're instructing the military, like I told you, not to listen to the commander-in-chief. And everybody in the military, they took an oath to protect the country. And the person they listen to is the president. And I believe 100% people need to be gone. Need to be gone. Obama was one of the worst things we had. Biden was the worst. I was here when Nixon and all that stuff came. You guys were angels compared to what we got now. Let's look at some of the things that we're talking about here. And let's see if we're on the same pointer as other people are.
They hated Donald Trump. They want to put him in prison. They charged him with all kinds of stuff. Obviously, he didn't know jail time because it's all bullcrap. What do? They said nothing about Epstein files. They didn't bring it up. They didn't talk about it. They signed no resolution to be transparent with the public. And this is why I think Donald Trump didn't have really nothing to do with it. because they didn't even mention it while they were in office. They didn't even mention it during the election cycle, which means that if you didn't want Donald Trump to get elected, tell him how he's so involved in the Epstein files. It didn't. I want you to think this through in your mind. Joe Biden was in office. They hated Donald Trump. They want to put him in prison. They charged. Joe Biden was in office. They hated Donald Trump. They want to put him in prison. They charged him with all kind of stuff. Obviously, he did no jail time because it's all bull crap. What do? They said nothing about Epstein files. They didn't bring it up. They didn't talk about it. They signed no resolution for to be transparent with the public. And this is why I think Donald Trump didn't have really nothing to do with it, because they didn't even mention it while they were in office. They didn't even mention it during the election cycle, which means that if you didn't want Donald Trump to get elected, tell him how he's so involved in the Epstein files. It didn't exist. And now, the Democrats seem to care about it more than Republicans do. Why? Because it's leveraging their party's identity. So let's go to this, because it's a big conspiracy, and I'm not a big conspiracy field. I don't really dive into conspiracies, but this is one of the conspiracies that are verified. Let's look at what the Democrats tried to do real quick. Let's go to clip 205, and then we're going to go to, the young lady explains this very well. I'm surprised that she's not more popular than she is. I've listened to her. I follow her. She only got like 1,000 subscribers. Y'all should go and subscribe her. Maybe we'll put a link in the description section. She explains this very clearly at the motives of the Democrat Party when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein, and Republicans are falling for it. Don't fall for this mess. Roll the clip.
Let's break down what happened today with Epstein, shall we? First, the Democrat members of this House Oversight Committee released these emails where Jeffrey Epstein said Trump was the dog that never barked, meaning he was never involved in these investigations. The emails blacked out this victim's name like it's some big secret, but we already know who the victim's name is. That's Virginia Guffrey, and she always maintained that the president was never inappropriate and extremely professional when they met. Then later in the day, the Republican members of this House Oversight Committee released documents that said Donald Trump never participated in the abuse of young women. The documents say he knew what Jeffrey Epstein was doing, but he never got a massage. Then tonight, 218 Congresspeople all signed a petition that forced a House floor vote. So now the leader, Speaker Mike Johnson, will force everyone to vote on the Epstein Files Transparency Act probably early December. If that vote passes in the House, then the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, would have to release all unredacted federal documents related to Epstein's case. They would only be allowed to leave stuff out related to victims' privacy, ongoing investigations, or national security. It would likely include flight logs, depositions, people he worked with, more emails. The House Oversight Committee has also already released 33,000 documents related to Epstein's case. So now we just have further evidence that President Trump did not do anything weird with these gals. If he did, Joe Biden would have released it when he was the president. We know that Trump cut ties with this dude around 2004. He kicked him out of his Mar-a-Lago club in 2007. They have not been friends. I think back in the day, Donald Trump saw the writing on the wall and kind of took a step back from Jeffrey. I don't quite know what Democrats are expecting to find on Mr. Trump, but hopefully if there are other weird, creepy dudes involved in this, they get taken down. I'll lastly point out that this is insane timing, seeing as the government just opened back up tonight. Could it all be a distraction from the fact that millions of Americans are really PO'd right now? Maybe.
All right, let's go to Tim Burkett. I think that's how you say his name. Burchett or Burkett. Now, he came out. I think we can go. I want you to think this through.
Again, he's saying the same thing I'm saying. He never brought the docket up, never said a word about it, never questioned it. But now the Democrats care about getting Jeffrey Epstein information out more than the Republicans do. Why? Because they think they can miscrew, misjudge, mislead, lie, cheat, finagle, funnel everything they can to say, oh, Donald Trump did it. Donald Trump did it. And they're finding out that all the women said that he was very discreet, a gentleman, did not go to his island, kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago, and they still are looking for that smoking gun. Well, they finding it, but it's turned around on them. Now they bring in, like I said, y'all, you got to make sense of this. And it makes me stutter sometimes when I talk, because you're shooting for that falling star. You get it. And all of a sudden, oh my goodness, we got what we wanted. All the information is going to get out. Oh, whoa. let's get some judges to stop this. We need to have this stopped because I'm on it. She's on it. Sarah's on it. Tom's on it. Randy's on it. Oh my goodness, and even some Republicans are on it. They're trying to work a deal, backdoor deal. If you don't tell, I don't tell. Such is the case with this Stacey Plassic. We had Republicans vote too not to censor her because they were in the deal too with the Epstein. And she's in a hearing doing a case accepting emails from a convicted sex offender. She needs to be in the jail with him. And when do you go to court and have phones? They don't allow that in court. So how in the world, see, their laws are different. You tell me when you go to court, any kind of case that you in, you are not allowed to have your cell phone in there talking and gallivanting like you want. This is a effed up system, y'all. It ain't right. Let's look at this. This is why they can't get nothing done. Because they spend hours and days away from the White House or from the Capitol doing their job, and they want to get paid almost $200,000, $250,000 a year for nothing. And what are they doing? You got these old gallivantes like Nancy Pelosi, half dead, one foot on the banana peeling, and the other one slipping on ice, ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Nancy Pelosi done broke her hip. You got the other old lady that sat down in the chair and couldn't find it. Pocahontas. Warren. Mrs. Warren. And they all fallen. You got so many of them, they stand up there. The one guy that sits there and talks to you and forgets what he's got to say. He's lost. You know what I'm saying? And it's going on and on and on. Let's take a look at this, because they're not doing the job for us. They're doing the job for them. Days off more than the school teacher, more than kids in school. Let's check it out.
Madam Chair, welcome back from your 8 weeks of taxpayer-funded vacation. It's good to see you, and I hope that Republicans...
I'm going to interrupt you, please. I am sick and tired of hearing you all say we had an 8-week vacation.
That's exactly what happened.
I worked every day. I don't know about you.
I
don't want to hear
every single day. We all
say
worked
that.
every single day, and that's exactly what happened with Speaker Mike Johnson.
You're recognized.
I hope that you all enjoyed yourselves while American families looked at their letters from their health insurance companies, terrified that their insurance premiums were going to double or triple while the House was out of session for 53 days. That is unacceptable, Madam Chair.
Yes, yes, yes. If there was ever a got you moment, there it is. You know what I'm saying? There it is. Because that's exactly what they do. See how she got all uproar and angry about it? Because the truth hurts. The truth hurts. And you want to speak of the truth? We got another evangelist liar, Shocky Crockett. This woman is getting herself in deep trouble accusing people of stuff that they have not done. She thinks there's only one Jeffrey Epstein. And listen at her on CNN trying to back out of this as much as she can. But she can't take what she laid out. So she's backtracking on it. And people like this that go out and other things like this, man, she's ruined his reputation on things. And it's not good. Let's take a look at it.
information. Just like if somebody texts me.
Yeah, but she was responding and saying, you know, what are you talking about? Quick, I'm up next. And then her questions were about Rona. But do you think that was inappropriate? I mean, would you text with someone who is a registered sex offender about what you asked?
I honestly know that he had never been convicted of any federal crimes at that time.
But he had been in jail already.
He had been in jail. And my deal is this. The Republicans are constantly texting with a 34-count convicted felon. So if it's okay for them to text him at any point in time, then I'm not going to say that that's right or wrong, especially to the extent that you're talking about kicking someone off their committee.
There is so much hypocrisy to unpack here. First of all, who started the text chain doesn't make the conversation or the reason that they were texting, especially at that exact moment during a hearing, any less corrupt and any less despicable. Second of all, whether or not he'd had federal charges brought against him at that exact moment is completely irrelevant. Everybody knew exactly who he was and what he was doing, especially people that were close enough to him to be texting him personally on a regular basis. Third, you can keep pointing to the 34-count felony thing all you want. We know that it's being used as a distraction from what is clearly Democrats' own long record of criminal activity. But what you're doing in this case is trying to compare a guy who made bookkeeping errors to a guy who has a decades-long history of human schmafficking and crimes against women and children. You're literally making excuses for the behavior of the guy who you simultaneously say is so egregious that Trump even having a photo with him means that he too is a child schmeditor. And speaking of which, you guys can't keep saying that Trump is a child schmeditor just because he associated with Epstein, even though there's no evidence of criminal activity, unless you're willing to say that Hakeem Jeffries and Stacey Plaskett are child schmeditors, even though there's no evidence of their criminal activity. You can't say that one person is guilty by association without willing to say that other people are. Otherwise, that makes you a hypocrite.
Stacey didn't initiate that chain. Jeffrey initiated that.
You see how that's working? She made a very salvageable point. All of a sudden, they want to bring up this 34 count. Letitia James, the same thing that she did, they trying to throw it out. Trump's bank said that they agreed with him, there was no stealing, they made money on the real estate deal, but this big cahoon put all the charges on him, drummed him up. And Letitia James even said she's going to build her campaign on coming after Donald Trump. And she did that. But now all of a sudden, because this plastic lady is talking to Jeffrey, I never heard of this, in a hearing. And he's giving her grievous information on people in a hearing. She's got her phone. Like I said, this doesn't happen in regular court. I haven't seen it. And it doesn't make her guilty by association. She herself says she knew him very well. But now that Donald Trump, has had him by Mar-a-Lago, he kicked him out. All of a sudden, Donald Trump is guilty. And he took the initiative to kick him out. He's still not texting him and calling him. But he's guilty. And people that are voting for this party and engaging with him and believing in him, George Soros and all this to create havoc in America, what do they want to make America? Just communist? Because Biden was going to take away guns, even bullets, taking away free speech. That's communist. He's another Mandani. And it's sad that people are rooting for this. It's rooting for it. And it's not good. People, we have to make the change. we have to stand up for ourselves. We're the ones that have to believe in what we're doing. Now, here's this Stacy, plastic lady. Let's take a look at her and her comments on what she has to say about her dirty dealings.
I believe that Jeffrey Epstein had information, and I was going to get information to get at the truth. Having a friendship with him is not something that I would deem to have. And so I'm just looking forward. I'm moving forward. And I think that that's what we as American people should do, is move forward. If individuals are not involved in illegal activity, extending his criminal enterprise or his financial enterprise or all of those things, I think that we need to look at what people are doing moving forward.
Wait, let me just better understand that. What is that point? Because at the time he was a known sex offender and it had been detailed all the sexual abuse.
There are a lot of people who have done a lot of crimes, and as a prosecutor, you get information from people where you can. I believe that Jeffrey...
Okay. This is plastic. Call it plastic because plastic is fake. It breaks. There's no truth to it. We have stories coming up. The backdoor deals that were made while she was not censored. She goes that it doesn't necessarily deem that she's friends with Jeffrey Epstein, which is a lie. Because I'm not friends with you people. Come on, y'all, let's wake up. I'm not friends with you. Why would I be texting you? You don't matter to me. I'm in the middle of a congressional hearing. Why? I got to be pretty close to you to talk to you. I'll find other people to talk to. How are my kids doing? How's my husband doing? But she specifically talked to this man. And he was grooming her on what to say. But they're not friends. What, she needs more money from him? This is what this is all about. You need another $30,000, $40,000 to help with your campaign or something? This is dirt, people. And I'm going to tell you something. Don't come here with all that black card race stuff. Nobody wants to hear that. All of a sudden, every time Crockett, all these other black women get in trouble, Letitia James, it's all racially bound. Racially bound. It's not racially bound. Oh, goodness, y'all. Ooh, help me out. Because let me tell you something. You do the crime, do the time. And y'all know you're wrong. You know you're wrong. But you continue to look for avenues to get out of it. I'm innocent. You know you ain't innocent. You know that's your friend. Probably mad that he's gone. You can't get no cheese, no money to fund your campaign, to do your dirt work. I'm appalled. And the people that are falling for this, Americans, we way smarter than this. We are smarter than this. Way smarter. FEMA is a program that's needed. FEMA is a program that helps people. Kentucky, New York, with ice storms and stuff. Kentucky, with all the storms and stuff that come through. Florida, with all the hurricanes and storms that come through. Lately here in North Carolina, South Carolina, what they went through. They had no money to give people. And then when people did help, They told them not to. People were ready to go to jail to help their neighbor. I remember looking at the guys in their helicopters, individuals, and they'd laying all this food and water, toiletry paper and stuff. It's up on a mountain, and they actually came along, United States helicopter, military, whatever, and blew the product all over the grounds. That's nasty. And wow, you lost everything, and you're going to give these poor people $750. $750. But if you Mexican, Puerto Rican, any kind of foreigner over here, you get gang members, all of those people, 3,000, 4,000, you put up in the best hotel, not Motel 8, $1,000, $1,500 a night hotel rooms. Hotels went for it because that was such a surge of money they made. They didn't care if you damaged stuff. Make it into millions, probably some of them probably up in the billions. All of our money that we put in a program like FEMA to help our neighbors that pay taxes. Not only did we get targeted on that, Trump, I just never forgot that Trump supporter sign, people's yards, they went by them. People, the swamp is dirty. It's nasty. Now we got FEMA sitting here that people have donated money and stuff to. And we got another individual that decides to adequately help herself in need, not $100,000, which is wrong. $100 is wrong. $50 is wrong. It's not your money. Not $1 million. Not $1.5 million. Not $2 million. You're talking millions. Not even 200,000. Not even 2,000. 3 million. No, that's not enough. This is free. I need this. 4 million. Nah. Let the working class work. I need this. I need my house to look good. I need my hair to look good. My fingernails. I got a beautiful home. And associates that I know, family members, they need money. 5 million, maybe a little bit over it. Who knows? This is what they calibrate right now. I wouldn't be a bit surprised it's 6, 7 million. Because once you get the fever with the money, and it's easy money, let's spend it, honey. And that's what these people are doing. So we can't trust no one to handle nothing for us. And this is the low of low. And I hope Trump put all of them in prison. They need to be. Because this type of core, at the core, robbing and stealing, believe me, it's going to destroy us all. It already has. Right down to the people taking SNAP. My legs jumping right now because my nerves bad. You know, I'm looking at people on SNAP, 34, 35,000, 23,000, 10,000, 15,000, and they're saying they're not going to work. They don't even want to feed their own kids. I got to work. And I worked, hurting like McGregory. But bones hurting. Worked all my life, still working. And this is the thanks we get. I just got to give it to somebody. It's like me moving in my house, paying it off, and you a foreigner come in, hey, let me give you my house. I'm going to do this for you. And y'all out there in the streets fighting for this? Fighting to keep these people here who are not vetted, who are taking your money, and all you old people out there in the streets, oh, Trump did try to, do you realize that's your Social Security? That's your Medicare that they're sucking up? And if George Soros did pay you $1,000 for the day, $500 for the day, what are you doing? Just think, if the government wants to decide, you out there participating in something like this, they got you on camera, they got you on film. Well, you make that $1,000 for a day. Let's consider that as work. They cut your Social Security off, your Medicare off. I bet you think about what you're doing from now on. See, some people need a rude awakening to figure out life and stop biting the hand that feeds you. Appreciate what you have. People, let's look at this person right here. And this is Mrs. FEMA, and we might have a couple more. We're going to close it up because my nerves are getting bad. And this is Mrs. FEMA. So let's check.
I look forward to my day in court so I can prove myself and actually state the truth. But if this is what Congress is becoming, where they're always trying to intimidate you, scare tactics, especially attacking minorities, black and brown people.
There we go.
Keep fighting for the district. And everybody has been giving me so much support. And we're going to keep fighting until the district gets what it needs, which is fair prices, housing, and fair representation of Congress. I look forward to my day in court so I can prove myself and actually state the truth. But if this is what Congress is becoming, where they're always trying to intimidate you, scare tactics, especially attacking minorities, black and brown people, then we're going to have to keep fighting for the...
Okay. Well, I'll just tell you, I went and played halfway again on that. Every single time. If the black people are worried so much about minorities, and they worry so much about black on black, if you fly straight, you don't have to worry about that. The only reason this wrath is being brought upon you is you're lying, you're stealing, and you're doing what you aren't supposed to do. That's all there is. And I'm sick and tired of people talking about, oh, because I'm black. Evidently, you have a good position. You didn't get that by being black, whether you're DII or not. You're in a good position. But you don't know how to take it. You don't know how to work with it. You got to take advantage of the situation. Let's look at this one.
Democratic Congresswoman Sheila Shurfless McCormick is being accused of stealing $5 million and taking part of that money to help her get elected in her South Florida district. Now, according to the federal indictment, this started when FEMA overpaid her family's healthcare company by $5 million. And then again, instead of giving it back, the federal indictment says that she funneled this money through different sources in order to hide its origin, and then again used part of that money to help her get elected in 2021. But the federal indictment, it doesn't stop there. It says that Sheila Shurfless McCormick also falsely filed her taxes in order to reduce her tax burden. Now, CBS News Miami did get a statement from the Congresswoman saying that she is innocent. She questioned the timing of all this. She says that it's meant to distract from other bigger national stories. She says that she's excited for her day in court, and until then, she will fight for her constituents.
Another Florida Congressman, Republican Greg Steube, says that he's going to be filing a motion to remove the Congresswoman from office altogether if she doesn't resign. He says that defrauding the federal government of millions of dollars and its victims is an automatic disqualifier from serving in elected office. Earlier on, he said that this is the most egregious abuse of public trust he's ever seen.
Democrat.
You got to believe that it's hard to believe. You gotta believe, but it's hard to believe that someone would go this far to work the system with no remorse at all. And people, they keep taking from us. And again, it goes back to that little chihuahua. How much you gonna take? How long you gonna let somebody kick you? People are getting tired. So henceforth, that's why Trump's numbers are going up, up, up. They didn't never want free speech. They didn't never want Trump in there, Elon in there, because all this stuff is right out front. Elon's channel booming, Trump's channel booming. All the information is out there. Now you got podcasters out there delivering a full blow to them. And this will never change. But these people are terrible. And it has young black people, it has nothing to do with being black or white. These are thieves. Low down scumming thieves. And after a while, when you get to be a little bit older and you work and you pay your bills, you get tired of it. Let's take a look at this.
Americans, why aren't we more pissed off about this? Stacey Plaskett, a sitting representative, is texting with damning evidence, texting Jeffrey Epstein during a congressional hearing. Why is nobody pissed off and asking for her resignation? At this point, we should be screaming off the top of our lungs for this woman to resign.
As President of the United States. And while we were once driving through a struggling neighborhood in Chicago, he commented that only black people could live that way. Attorney-client privilege, yes, I will turn it over.
You, as my friend Mr. Meadows pointed out, misled this committee even today in a written submission that contradicted your testimony. You have suggested you are going to review that. Are you going to review it in our next break to correct the record, yes or no?
Yes.
Question, you helped out the president's campaign or were involved in the campaign as a representative, as a spokesman, even in your words today. It was your idea for the campaign dating back to 2011. Is that accurate, yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Weisenberg and other individuals, Ms. Rona. Who are those individuals? Are they with the Trump Organization?
They are.
Are there other people that we should be meeting with?
So, Alan Weisselberg is the chief financial officer.
You got to quickly give us as many names as you can so we can get to them.
Yes, ma'am.
Is Ms. Rona, what is Ms. Rona's position?
Rona Graff is Mr. Trump's executive assistant.
And would she be able to corroborate many of the statements that you've made here?
Yes, her office is directly next to his, and she's involved in a lot that went on.
Oh, this is not the first exchange they had. Let's talk about it. Number one, campaign donation. Epstein donated the maximum allowable amount of $8,100 to Plaskett campaign in 2014, 2016, 2018. In 2019, after his arrest, Plaskett initially resisted returning the funds, but did so amid public backlash. Number two, Plaskett personally solicited $30,000 donation from Epstein to the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee at his New York home in 2018. Number three, the most damaging one of all, a lawsuit in 2023. 6 Epstein victims sued Plaskett and other Virgin Island officials, alleging they enabled Epstein's sex trafficking operation by turning the territory, his home in Little St. James, into a safe haven. The claim against Plaskett was dismissed with prejudice earlier in 2025, with her attorney stating that she learned of Epstein's crime simultaneously, with the rest of the country and had no involvement. She remains the only defendant from the suit, still facing related scrutiny. Why is this woman still in office?
Just like she said, why is this woman still in office? And sometimes I let these go a little bit farther and I'll replay them for you, just so you can hear it. So Epton, Allen, Little St. John, Thomas, or wherever the hell they are, excuse my language. And she's getting thousands of dollars from him. But she, quote, unquote, didn't hear anything. And she's calling him here, so there you go. All this crap about not being friends with Jeffrey Epstein, lie, lie, lie. And people, we got to wake up and stop parading around these people. Stop engaging with these people. Because they're not good for you. None of them. I don't care if it's Obama. I don't care if it's the Clintons. I don't care if it's the Bidens. Kamala, none of them have done that for you. Same thing with the old slickback Nelson up there in California. No good. People, let me tell you something. We love you here at the Staff Community. And as things go on, we're going to bring it to you. And we're going to keep bringing it to you. Make sure you tell everyone about the channel. Like, love, and subscribe. Smash that like button. And please, keep in touch. And always give us your comments. And guess what? By the ones that have signed up, my real OGs of the channel that are hanging tough, we appreciate you very much. And it touches my heart every day to see people signing up, coming aboard. And we'll see y'all on the next one.